What's up, everybody? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an EP review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new EP from the band Impiety, entitled The Impious Crusade. This is released on Hells Headbangers Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Singapore, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be an extremely volatile and bestial hybrid of black metal, thrash metal, and death metal. This is, to me, one of the few bands in extreme metal to pull off all these different musical styles to create something incredibly heavy and monumental. I first saw this band live 2 years ago at the 5th annual Gore Growlers Ball Festival, and when I had seen them live, I absolutely loved how crazy and maniacal their set was. And in doing so, it only led me to want to know more about this band and further get into their stuff. Preferably their earlier material with albums like Skullfucking Armageddon, Chaos Command 696, and Paramount Evil. Just some really, really amazing stuff. Just so destructive, so crushing, and so chaotic on both a lyrical and musical kind of front. Then, of course, we moved to the later 2000s stuff with albums like Formidonus Nex Cultus and Terror Reign. Just some really awesome stuff. And then in 2012, they came out with their album Ravage and Conquer. That album was amazing. It almost made my top 20 of last year. Just some really wicked music going on. I loved the lyrics, I loved the vocals, I loved the musical structuring. It just was awesome. When I had found out that Impiety were signing to Hells Headbangers Records, I was very, very much excited. It made me wonder what they were going to pull out of their hats next for whatever future releases. And, of course, the announcement comes that they were going to start out with an EP at first, and this EP being The Impious Crusade. It's only 5 tracks, and it clocks in at around 19 minutes in length, so as to be expected from an EP, it's relatively short. But also as to be expected with an EP, listening to this will only make you want and crave more. And that's what this EP does. If this is a precursor as to what's to come from Impiety, then I am pretty much ready to throw down whatever I can to buy it. If it's on CD or vinyl or whatever, I'm definitely ready for it. The EP starts off with an intro called Arrival of the Assassins. It has a very militant and dominant kind of structuring when it comes to the beginnings of the track. Very much heavily reliant on the drums. You hear the vocalist just get right up into the war cries, and pretty much the next 3 songs from there are just devastating. Each track definitely maintains a similar kind of pace and structuring, but it's so amazing, the kind of music that's being done here. As per usual in Impiety release, the guitar riffs on here are just absolutely chaotic. The riffs are just so monumentally crazy and powerful. That's where you almost hear a little bit of the thrash influence go on, just the way some of the speeds are with some of the riffs. Like on the track Commanding Death and Destroy, you get some really awesome and crazy riffs going on, to even a little bit of that tremolo action going on with some of the riffs. It's sensational. Even some of the solos are nice too. The thing about an Impiety solo is you get some really awesome stuff going on. It isn't meant to be flashy or over the top. It definitely suits and showcases the kind of values that you would get from an Impiety song or release. And the same can be said for the next 2 tracks, Accelerate the Annihilation and the title track, The Impious Crusade. Just some incredibly dominant guitar work going on. The riffs, the leads, the tremolos, just the structuring of the guitar is just fantastic. The bass guitar is good too. It definitely is very much vital to the overall vibe and atmosphere of the EP. It's definitely more guitar orientated than anything else in my opinion, but still, whatever you hear of the bass, it definitely is successful, and it does work to its advantages here. When it comes to the drums, I'm definitely loving the drums a lot more here than I did on the last Impiety record, Ravage and Conquer. Of course, the drums have a little bit more of a cleaner, more modern type of feeling, but the way that they sound on this particular EP, it does sound a little bit more natural, but yet it's still a little bit more faster and chaotic. Very much evidented on drum fills and blast beats and double bass. You're going to get a lot of that action going on with the drums, and I definitely think it's another memorable drum performance to be heard on this particular EP. I think the drum pace is just stellar. It keeps you interested, and it makes you want to listen even more and more. And of course we get to the vocals. Shyathan's vocals are just sensational. He is a great frontman. I love his energy. I love his vigor, and he definitely showcases that throughout the entire EP. Just his vocal deliveries, just how powerful he can be. It's very straightforward. You can understand everything he says. It's like he's ready to march his legions straight into battle, and that's the kind of vibe you pick up from his voice and his delivery. It's awesome. Very distinctive kind of voice. And kudos to the bonus track, Lucifer's Legions, which is a cover of a song from a really awesome Swedish death metal band called Sorcery. They definitely make this song their own, definitely a nice tribute to Sorcery with the track, and I think it's very awesome. Like I said earlier, this EP only makes me want to listen to more Impiety. I wish this EP didn't end so soon, but for what's available here, I think it's sensational. So overall, this is an absolutely awesome EP, probably one of my favorite EPs of this year. If you're a fan of Impiety, if you're a fan of the current era, the older era, or all of it together, you probably would want to give this a try. I definitely urge you to do so. So I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this and listen to it. I'm going to leave you a link to the Hells Headbangers Bandcamp where you can stream this EP in its entirety. Hear it for yourself, be your own judge, buy it digitally, also buy it physically from the web store. It's also available in 12-inch vinyl. Definitely something to be interested in, check out. I'm really looking forward to the next full-length album from these guys. So I'm going to show you the EP again. This is the Impious Crusade by Impiety. This is released on Hells Headbangers Records. Definite support, and I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10. I'm really enjoying this a lot, so support Impiety. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until next time, Armijo out.